You are watching The Trades, a show about the business of breaking and hip-hop. I'm your host, Shadow Rockin' Profo Won of the Floor Gangs and the Knuckleneck Tribe. Today's show is going to be a very interesting show, the status of the scene. The scene came from the Bronx via mid-70s through, obviously, DJ Kool Herc. That movement growing into the first album to hit mainstream was the Sugar Hill Gang, but visually, the first thing that people saw of hip-hop was actually breaking. Movies such as Style Wars, Wild Style, and that became a phenomenon as far as like pushing the visualization of hip-hop. That was the only choice you had in the 80s. Like, there was no competition. It was just like, if you were a dancer or a b-boy, can you become a Hollywood star? And some of those Hollywood stars used to break, but they stopped. They never went back to breaking. That's it. By hip-hop scene, and made its resurgence nationwide, I would say about 96, 97, because of the VHS era, the tapes that were being put out. We're a product of that. Everyone that's watching right now, we are influenced by the freestyle sessions. We're influenced by the summits. We're influenced by the Miami Pro-Am. The goal of the scene back in the 90s, can I be on a freestyle session and kill it and win a freestyle session, or win a Battle of the Year, or win a summit? That was like the goal back then, was to go to a jam. When stuff started to really pop online, that's where another change came with the early 2000s. The presentation of YouTube changed the face of breaking. More and more competition started to happen. This is where I relate a lot of the skating scene back in 1985 to where we were maybe just 2 years ago. Skating in the 70s was super big. Breaking in the 80s was super big. So it started becoming an underground movement where they're throwing competitions in backyards for skaters. And your prize was like $100, $200. Now, does that sound familiar to y'all? The only thing that was like you look forward to is like winning these big competitions. The problem is there were so many competitions to win that you lost track of who was killing it. And that's what's going on right now. There's so many competitions you don't know. In relation to the skate scene in 1985 was this, and there was no videos. They related to Skateboarder magazine or Thrasher magazine. That's when you want to get on as a skater. Now, what does that sound familiar to you like? If I get on a strife or if I get on a stance, people know who I am. So right there, 1985 skating scene and 2011, 12, 13 now is related. Same goals. That's the mirror. That's what's going on. We're right there at 1986, 87 of skating. And we already know what happened in 99. Tony Hawk did the 900. Boom. Skating becomes a household name. We are at that point. We're right there. And all of a sudden it went from the backyard to Vans, to Vision, to Thrasher magazine having bigger competitions. Does that sound familiar, y'all? You gotta do your history, do your market research as far as if we're gonna like take this scene further. We gotta understand what happened to other scenes and see what the mistakes that they did and not make those mistakes. That's why we're having this discussion. We need to discuss this because there's a lot of people saying, this is whack, it could be like this. But then before we do that, can we see our market? Here's the thing. For instance, I have my own market. I have my own niche. You know which direction you could take it to bigger levels. Simple. So 1, awareness of your market. 2, understand your niche. 3, build your brand from there. People are like, they think, I'm going to throw money at it. It's going to make it better. No, it might make it worse. Started small and people love the jam. That's how you build a brand. We're talking about branding. Pretty simple. Works for me. So we're about to wrap it up, but before we wrap it up, please share this video. Check out my social media handles at facebook.com/ProfoWon, capital FLGZ, Instagram, and on Twitter, #thetradesbboy. Thanks for watching and supporting. Peace.